Something small just went wrong in your home, a leak, a crack, a broken pipe, and your first instinct is to call your insurer and file a claim. Before you do, there are a few things worth checking, because filing is not the only option and it is not always the right one, and once it is filed, it usually cannot be unfiled. I've spent nearly a decade working inside the Canadian insurance industry. In this video, I'm going to walk through what to check and document before you decide whether to file. Regardless of which way you land, start with a distinction most homeowners don't know exists. Calling your broker to ask a general question is not the same as filing a formal claim. A hypothetical question. What would happen if I filed for this? What's my deductible? Is this the kind of damage that's usually covered? Can typically be asked without opening a formal claim file. A formal claim is different. It usually means a claim number is issued, an adjuster may be assigned, and the event may enter your claims history in a way that can affect future renewals. The practical takeaway: if you are not sure yet, say so explicitly. Ask your broker directly whether the conversation you are about to have will be logged as an inquiry or opened as a formal claim. Depending on the insurer and the province, the answer can vary, so do not assume, ask. A formal claim typically follows a process. You report the loss, a claim number is issued, an adjuster may be assigned to assess the damage, and the insurer determines the payout based on your policy and deductible. Once that process starts, it may remain on your claims history even if you do not ultimately accept a payout. In many cases, the record can be created by opening the claim, not only by cashing the check. That is the detail most homeowners do not realize until after the fact. Whichever way you decide, 3 things are worth having before you decide. 1. Photos. Before any cleanup, before any repair work starts, photograph the damage from multiple angles. If you end up filing later, this is the evidence an adjuster will want. If you end up paying out of pocket, this is the record that protects you if the same issue resurfaces. 2. A written repair quote from a licensed contractor. Not a verbal estimate, a number on paper. This is what turns "I think this is expensive" into an actual comparison against your deductible. 3. The date and the likely cause. Write it down while it's fresh. If this becomes a claim months from now, or if a related issue shows up later, having the original date and cause documented can matter more than people expect. Keep all 3 in one place: a folder, a phone album, a single email thread to yourself. If this does become a claim weeks or months from now, having everything together saves time exactly when you have the least patience for paperwork. If you are not sure whether the damage is significant enough to matter, document it anyway. It costs nothing to have photos and a quote you never end up using. It costs a lot to need them later and not have them. None of this commits you to filing. All of it protects you either way. Here is the part that gets missed. The deductible is not the only cost of filing a small claim. A claim can affect your claims-free discount, and it may enter your claims history, which insurers may review at future renewals. A $500 claim today can, in some cases, cost more than $500 over the following renewals once the discount and history effects are factored in. This does not mean small claims are always the wrong call, and it means the deductible alone is not the full comparison. Paying out of pocket usually avoids opening a claim and may help preserve your claims-free discount and claims history, but it means covering the full repair cost today with no insurer involvement. Here is what that looks like with real numbers. Say your deductible is $1,000 and the repair quote comes back at $1,800. File the claim, and the insurer covers $800 after your deductible. That looks like an easy win until you weigh it against what a claims-free discount is worth to you over several renewals, and whether this is your only claim in the relevant window or your second. An $800 payout is not free money if it changes how the next few renewals are priced. And the math changes again if this is not your first claim. A single small claim in an otherwise clean history reads very differently to an insurer than a second claim in the same window. Ask your broker where you currently stand before you decide. That context changes what a $500 or $800 claim actually costs you. This is a genuine trade-off, not a rule. The right call depends on the specific numbers, which is exactly why the documentation matters. You cannot compare properly without a real repair quote in hand. None of this is an argument against filing. Insurance exists to be used if the repair quote is significantly more than your deductible, if the damage could get worse without proper repair, or if there is any structural or safety concern. Filing may be the right call despite the history effect. The goal is not to avoid filing. The goal is to make the decision with the full picture, instead of reacting to the first number you see. And if the damage is active or could worsen, do not delay emergency mitigation just to think through the claim's history question. Stop the damage, document it, and speak with your broker or insurer. This is also where the documentation pays off twice. A well-documented claim with dated photos and a clear cause typically moves faster and more smoothly through the adjuster process than one built on a vague description after the fact. One more timing note: if your renewal date is coming up soon, factor that in too. A claim filed shortly before a renewal can influence that renewal's pricing sooner than one filed just after it. This is not a reason to delay reporting a genuine loss. It is a useful piece of context when you are deciding how to handle something borderline. One more thing worth checking before you file. Ask whether your policy has any relevant endorsements, sewer backup, overland water, or similar, that specifically apply to this type of damage. Some homeowners discover only at claim time that a coverage they assumed was standard was actually optional, and either was or was not added to their policy. Here's the reframe. A small claim is not really a small decision. It sits at the intersection of an immediate repair cost and a multi-year history effect. And most homeowners only see the first half of that. What to do in the next 48 hours if you're facing this decision? Photograph the damage before any cleanup. Get a written repair quote. Ask your broker directly whether your question will be logged as an inquiry or a claim. Then compare the real numbers and not just the deductible before you decide. The free homeowner checklist is in the description. It covers the documentation and renewal questions worth having ready before any policy decision. If you found this useful, subscribe. I publish regular Canadian insurance breakdowns for homeowners. Everything I cover comes from nearly a decade working inside the Canadian insurance industry. See you next week.